Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got 6 agates gonna cut today. These are the Malawi agates that I got from Joshua Ritter at Agatebay. Let's walk through them real quick, see what we're cutting. Alright, this first one, it's got some windows showing some color in it. It's banding. Another window right here. So I want to cut in between this window and this window. Missed that. Hopefully I can cut it. I'm going to end up hitting right here, unfortunately. But I think that's my best cut. So yeah, that one looks like it's pretty promising. Next one up. All right, window here, it's mostly quartz. And window back here, you got some banding around the quartz. So I'll cut in between these two windows, back through this thick part, back around. So that's obviously going to be a banded agate with a quartz center, but hopefully it'll have colors and possibly some mixed layers of banding and quartz. All right, could be pretty. All right, got some little windows on this one. Yeah, and a big window, and that's a banded face. So this is going to be hard to cut without hitting something. So I'm thinking if I can cut it kind of diagonal, or maybe just on this side of that little window through here. I'm gonna end up cutting through some of that, I'm guessing, to miss stuff, but I think maybe if I go diagonal this way, be my best cut. I don't know, we'll see when I get it on the saw how I think I can line it up, but I'm gonna get as parallel to that as I can. That's promising. All right, here's probably the biggest of the bunch. It says it's got a little window, banding, and a little bit of color in the middle there. Hopefully that color opens up bigger where it gets thicker. So try to cut it this way, parallel to that. So far these are all looking pretty good. All right, another window, some banding. All right, so this one's gonna be hard to cut without hitting something. So I think I'll just, as much as I can, parallel to that, see if I can't cut through that way. We'll see. And last up, I think this is the only one out of this batch that doesn't have like any big windows showing what's in it. So we'll just cut it long ways through that. And hope for the best. All right, let me get these on the saw, get them cut. I'll be right back with the results and we'll see what we end up with. All right, I am back from the saw. So I'm going to start with some Arizona rocks that I cut. They were sitting next to the saw and I figured we'll cut those as well. So this first one looked like it was going to be a jasper or something. Yeah, it's either a moss or a jasper. Nice colors. Bet it would take a great polish. And then I had a bunch of these that just came out to be quartz. I think this is why they were sitting there next to the saw. They weren't particularly great looking stones. All quartz. It's a cool looking pattern though. A little bit of banding, but mostly quartz. Ooh, all right, well this one's at least got a neat floater in the quartz. It's actually pretty cool looking. All right, well this one was neat. Unfortunately, it had some fractures in the top and it popped off. But look at the banding on that. That's pretty cool. I guess if I don't polish this, I could fix that where it popped off. That's probably worth polishing. It's nice looking. All right, well this one's got some really cool banding, but it's got some really bad fractures in it. But it's neat to look at. Again, a lot of fractures. And it's got a little bit of a quartz pocket in the center. And this one, the tip popped off because it's got a lot of fractures in it, but it's all banded. And the last Arizona stone. All right, well, unfortunately it does suffer from a fracture, but it's got a really nice pattern. Still might be worth polishing. Cool. All right, and then this was sitting there too, so I went ahead and cut it. This is a Swazi from Mozambique. I wanted to get a slab off of that. This was the face showing. And this is what I cut. As you can tell, it's got a hole in it coming all the way through the heel and goes a little bit into this. But I think that's gonna make a nice cabochon, nice colors. Hopefully I can polish that out if it doesn't go too deep. And I'm hoping some of these come up, and when I polish it, dome it, we get some more tubes. Like I can see one right there. But yeah, nice color. Set that aside. All right. Now let's go through the ones I intended to cut. All right, let's start with this one. So that's that guy. All right, it does have a hole in it with some gunk, but there's a lot going on in this stone, and it might look pretty cool polished. The other half probably looks a little cooler, but still got some stuff in this one. Okay, next up, this is the one that had no windows. All right, well, mostly quartz. It does have a bit of a fracture in it, but there's a floater in the quartz center, that orange color in it. And some nice contrasting bands around the outside. So that probably looked pretty cool polished. Okay, so this is that one that had some banding and what looked like quartz in the center. So definitely got a quartz center, but it's got some banding around it. Again, some kind of a moss pattern at the bottom, but I bet this would look really good polished. All right. Next up, this is the one that had the cool window here, but it had all these little windows around it. I did clip a window right there. Let's see if I lost anything. All right, so a little bit on this side. Pattern comes kind of to a halt there. Lost a little bit of it. But look at the color and the banding on this, especially this side. All right, definitely gonna polish this one. That's my favorite one so far. Let's see if we got anything better. All right, next up, windows, color, windows. I may have clipped the window right there, but I knew I was gonna hit that. Let's see if we got anything good. All right, well, I didn't lose much. And it's got a perfect pattern, great color, no fractures. I love the moss around the outside of that. So yeah, we'll get this one polished up. All right, last up. So I ended up going through the end and it kind of chipped off. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we did lose a little bit of pattern on the end, but love the colors. A little bit of paint from the saw blade there. But yeah, that'll polish up nicely as well. All right, well, that is the end of this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.